Whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I bring you guys a brand new video today. Today we're talking about some Pokemon Sword and Shield leaks and rumors that have kind of surfaced over the last few days, and I kind of hesitated to cover them, but they are pretty intriguing, so we're going to talk about a couple different things that are going on. Now, of course, in this video, there's always speculation, right? Like, we don't know if any of this is confirmed yet, but some of it does seem to have some possibilities to it. It's not anything too far-fetched, but we'll talk about it in this video, and we'll have a good time talking about it nevertheless. So, of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed this video, and of course, subscribe if you guys are new for daily Pokemon content. I've been doing this on YouTube now for almost 10 years. I've been doing YouTube, but you know, I'd appreciate you guys hanging out and checking out some other content. So anyway, let's kind of jump into it. So there was some images that kind of surfaced on Twitter and 4chan, and really the reason why I'm covering this is so many people on my live streams and Twitter, they were just like, aDrive, have you seen this? Have you covered it? Why haven't you talked about this? And I'm like, I don't know, I guess I'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. So here we go. We got a couple images here in a very similar fashion to kind of how Decidueye, Primarina, and Incineroar leaked. So let's take a look at the first one, which is a supposed Sobble evolution. I'm going to show you guys the 3 starters, and then we're going to talk about a separate post. So there's 2 parts to this video, 2 parts, so watch the whole thing. Let's talk about it. So this is the first one here, kind of like a chameleon type of deal. Very interesting stuff. I have read that the Japanese may be a little bit shoddy, but so I don't know if that's necessarily an indication, but nevertheless, very cool design. I would actually, it's very simplistic. I will say this design is very, very simplistic, but very, very cool design. So I'm not sure what the typing of this would be, but it looks kind of like Kecleon in a way, but I mean, it's a chameleon, so it's not anything crazy. And I would be really kind of happy if Sobble kind of evolved into this guy. This is really, really cool design. Its tail is very interesting. It's got like spikes on it, almost reminds me of like a Whirlipede in a way. I'm not sure what the typing of this is. I don't know if it says it anywhere, if it's supposed to be indicated anywhere, but we can assume either probably, I mean, water, maybe just pure water, maybe water poison, maybe water dragon. Not really getting ghost vibes from this thing, but definitely very, very cool looking. You could see a couple different designs for its eyes. You could see its tail broken out, its face broken out, and this is a very Greninja-esque looking Pokemon in my opinion. Not that it looks like Greninja, but it's got like that edginess, kind of like Greninja has. So perhaps we'll see something, I don't know, very interesting. I don't know. My first thought on this is like, if this was the final evolution of Sobble, like I would be totally cool with that. Like I wouldn't be upset at all. I think it looks actually really, really sick. It looks like it's quadrupedal, but it can be bipedal. Looks like it can stand on its 2 legs. Looks like it would be a relatively fast Pokemon. Probably more on the, I don't know, I kind of get physical attacking vibes out of this more than special attacking vibes, which I feel like generally, if you go across the gens, I would think that most starters probably lean towards the special side, but I guess in terms of water starters, but I guess maybe that's not the case. Samurot's pretty physical, and you know, Greninja, and then, I don't know, I guess Primarina is special. I think they probably lean towards the special side, but then I know there's like, you know, for Alligator and stuff, but it kind of gives me like physical attacking vibes, or maybe even mixed attacking vibes. Definitely looks like it's an offensive type Pokemon there. Pretty interesting stuff though, very interesting. So let's take a look at the second design, which is Scorbunny, and I love this design. I think this looks pretty darn cool, man. So this is definitely electric fire is kind of what we're hinting at here, is an electric fire Scorbunny evolution. Goes to be, you know, bipedal as we would kind of expect. Kind of keeps some of the same markings with the feet. Those little bandages on its feet and on its face turn into like kind of electric shocks. Very interesting, and I don't know what the egg patterns are. Maybe this shows that the eggs are going to be different colors based on the Pokemon. That could be kind of a cool thing. And then you see like a kind of an old school trainer art with the character, maybe indicating that in the anime, Ash or whoever is going to get access to Scorbunny and its evolution. So a lot of theories revolving around Scorbunny turning into an electric and fire type as opposed to maybe fairy or something else. My gut feeling is Scorbunny either goes fairy, you know, maybe electric. I don't know. This kind of really goes, I don't know, it's tricky. It's tricky to say like what the direction of Scorbunny is going to be. And you know, I wanted to mention we've been kind of waiting for this next wave of information. I think it's coming soon. Koro kind of drew a strike out there, but I think in the next few weeks we'll probably get something. At the very least, I would imagine next Koro, which is about 3 weeks away. So we'll see there. But Scorbunny potentially evolving into an electric type. I like this design too, though. Like that's the thing. Like it's very rare that you see these fan-made designs and you're like, or, you know, potential leaks, it could be real, I don't know. But you see these and you're just like, wait a minute, is that real or is it fake? And then you think to yourself, would I like this if it was real? And I think this is actually kind of cool. I kind of like this design. I like Scorpion, I think it's cute. It probably ranks as the number 3 starter for me right now, but a really cool evolution could obviously change that. I like the ears, I like the design, it's very sleek looking, pretty cool stuff. And then the last one, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end here. and this is Grookey's supposed evolution, and this is where things are like, all right, well, I'm no longer Team Grookey. Like, if this is real, I am no longer Team Grookey, that is for sure. Such a decimation of what was once Grookey, man. I sincerely hope this is, fake. I hope? I don't know. I mean, this is bad. Like, it's like, would you take the trade-off of, like, Grookey turns into this, but the other two look awesome, and then you have this? Maybe people like this. I don't know. What do you guys think of this potential evolution here? I see this and I'm just like, big nope. But you know what though? I wouldn't be surprised if Grookey evolved into something like this, or this is it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, inevitably one of the 3 starters is gonna get ruined. Like, inevitably something is gonna get ruined, and this could be the one that gets ruined. I don't know, man, but definitely pretty interesting. Keeps the stick in its head, kind of just becomes a giant gorilla. Looks very defensive, very bulky. Looks like it could be ground, rock type perhaps. You know, one of those, maybe fighting. Obviously grass, we know that. I kind of like the little bushes on his shoulders. It's kind of cool. It's got like chest plates, and he's got like Hulk hands, which is pretty wild. Not quite sure what's going on in the picture there in the middle with the question marks, where it's like kind of folded over his head. I don't know what's going on there, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff. I'm leaning to say that I really hope that this one is, I mean, I think they're coming with a set. It's either you get all 3 or you don't get all 3, but this is a big note from me, dog. This is a big note from me. But you guys can let me know your thoughts on those 3 starter evolutions in the comment section below. Let's talk about this post here that kind of surfaced on 4chan. There was some pretty interesting stuff, and a couple people asked me to cover this as well. So this is obviously a fake kind of evolution there, but I visited the depths of Game Freak and discovered some pretty interesting things about the new games in the Pokemon franchise. Alright, so apparently we have 150 new Pokemon in the Galar region. 130 of them are really new, and other than 20 of them are evolutions of old generations. So I guess the thought is because it's a new platform, the Nintendo Switch, they decided to kind of focus on new Pokemon, similar to what we saw with Black and White. We'll have a haunted armor Pokemon. It reminds me of a lot of Alphonse Elric of Full Metal Alchemist because it's empty inside. I've never seen that, so you're gonna have to hopefully get that reference there. The ugly thing we saw in the video that was circulating on the internet was just an animation sketch from Game Freak. He's not fake. In the sketch, he evolves into kind of a Dredagon. So this is talking about the little peanut, fly, lantern, dragon, bug guy that we saw. Apparently that's real, and it's just a sketch from Game Freak, and eventually we'll see what that ends up being. 2 Pikachu lookalikes, they're version exclusives. We have a brute snowman, a big white big cat, a giant wild boar, which seems to be dark type, a hunting dog, which seems to be ground type, a fire hedgehog, which is kind of cool. We have Shaman as a hedgehog, but more than 1 regional bird. So instead of having like a Pidgey, you have multiple. A creature based on an alien, and there's like a little asterisk, which is fixed info, I guess. A fencer, okay. There are 2 new Eeveelutions. They were based on the medieval stories where the riders hunted the dragons. You must have already imagined them to be steel and dragon type. It seems we'll have a 3rd evolution for Psyduck, which is going to be Psychic type. That's a curveball right there. So this individual indicated that there's going to be some new evolutions of old Pokemon. This is indicating that there's going to be a new evolution for Psyduck, actually for Golduck rather, a 3rd evolution or a secondary evolution, where Golduck is going to evolve into a Psychic type. That would be mind-blowing. Durant and Heatmore have new evolutions, which is actually kind of cool. I actually think that would be really sick, a Durant and Heatmore getting evolutions. The 2 are kind of complementary in a way, and the fact that, you know, they're I guess they have some sort of relationship with each other. We see in X and Y, they kind of appear in hordes together. And obviously Heatmore eats the ants, and Durant has the steel shell, but it gets burned up. A new evolution for Dunsparce, so become flying type. This is funny because we thought that they had forgotten about him. Unfortunately, I didn't get much info about the starters. Apparently, the rabbit will not even be a fighter because he learns fairy type moves. So this is indicating that maybe it's a fairy type. The evolution of Sobble is curious because it was very sinister. I believe it's ghost type. I cannot imagine another type for him. And Grookey is actually a her. The mid form is something that I'm going to leave down there. This is a fan concept, so they're going to include that. Alright, so the post is going to continue. So that indicates the 3 starters. So apparently Sobble potentially is a ghost type, Scorbunny goes into a fairy type, and then Grookey ends up being the more feminine of the starters. So one of them is likely to be more feminine, so we'll see. We have 2 wolves. Their abilities resemble the totem Pokemon. They have an aura, so one increases the wolf's attack, and on the other it'll increase their defense. So that's kind of cool, an ability where you send it out and their defenses go up. If it's a one-time thing, it's kind of cool. If it's every time they come out, you know. And it also apparently increases the stats of the Pokemon next to them in doubles battles. There's a Pokemon based on the Loch Ness Monster, which is very believable. There's a snake and a horse. The highlight here goes to the horse since he did not look like he was a grass type, as many are speculating. The horse was more armor plated, so it's probably steel, but if it does have the grass typing, it'll be secondary type. There's someone who trolls you in the forest. He made me laugh and is probably a dark type, so I don't really know if there's like a little kind of troll in the forest that's kind of messing with you. Melton is a species of symbiont, very similar to Marvel's Venom. So symbiont is, the word basically means that there's two organisms that live in symbiosis with each other. So basically they kind of like function together. So I don't know. The armored Pokemon are not new evolutions. Megas do come back, but there's not any new ones. There's a new status condition, which actually kind of lines up with a previous rumor that talked about like fear or whatever, which is going to reduce accuracy and remove stab. HMs are gone, and then the flight system is similar to Latios and Latias, which I could believe. The mounts that we had in Alola return, so your Tauros ride and things like that. Pokemon Ami and Super Training come back, but differently. I wouldn't actually be mad about that. I could definitely see them keeping those kind of features. They had it in Let's Go Pikachu Eevee, the Ami thing, and having a Super Training feature that was really easy to do to like Eevee train your Pokemon is definitely want that. The game is going to be immense. I'll illustrate. The smallest town of Galar is equivalent to Alola's largest place. So this I actually believe too, for sure. Like, I really think the Galar region in this game is going to be massive, like way bigger than we can kind of anticipate from just looking at a map. There's something I found about the cutscenes. We have real dialogue spoken with human voice. While this might sound a little crazy, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild did it, so it is doable. Like, for various cutscenes, I could see them doing voiceovers. The only hiccup there is just the fact that the game is played in so many different languages. So are they really gonna have voiceovers for that many languages? Is it that hard? I don't know. I've never developed a game before, but I wouldn't rule it out. We have a new language, which is Portuguese. We see some of the Kalos characters in the game, which may indicate there may be some sort of connection with Kalos and older Shauna. This time the rival takes the starter that has an advantage over you, which I like. The starter choice has mystery dungeon elements. Oh, that's interesting. So the idea behind you choose your starter based on answers that you make to like questions, as opposed to maybe just like saying, okay, which one do you want? The villain team is called the Renegades. The theme of the Elite Four is a game of chess, and there are 4 noble families. Each one of them has a certain power in the Elite Four. So that really sums up this post here, and obviously I say take these things with a grain of salt. It's very possible that some guy just had a lot of time on his hands. He just typed some stuff out and just kind of spread on the internet. But definitely some interesting stuff to note between those starters and this post. Let me know what you guys think about this. My thought is, I'm gonna say that my gut says we just have to wait and find out more information, but we'll see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.